Hello, and welcome to Cheers. That's one woman's opinion. I'm your host, Carolyn Mills. Before we jump into the episode today, I wanted to let those of you who have not heard yet know that Donald Gibbs, who played Tiny on Cheers, he was also in Revenge of the Nerds, and he was an episode of Nighthawk and many other things. He sadly passed away on May 12th from throat cancer. He had been battling it for a while. So I just want to pay our respects to Donald Gibbs here. So let's all have a moment of silence. All right, he'll be missed. So today we're looking at Cheers season 3, episode 10, Diane's Allergy. It first aired December 6th, 1984. It was directed by James Burrows and written by David Lloyd, who passed away in 2009 from prostate cancer. And I'm trying some new things. Well, a new thing, which we'll see later. It's a sound clip, had to be done, and you'll see why in a little bit. And hopefully, it's going to work right. The guest cast includes Corey Bumper Yothers as Ben. Corey is the younger brother of Tina Yothers. Sorry, I was thinking Jennifer, who she played on Family Ties. It's her younger brother. And Kelsey Grammer as Dr. Fraser Crane. In the cold open, Ben comes into the bar looking for Sam. He has a baseball with him. He explains that his brother's in the hospital getting his tonsils removed, and he's looking for Karl Yastrzemski, his brother's favorite ball player. Sam first thinks that the kid wants him to sign the ball, and he's kind of offended when he just wants him to find Yaz. He is using him to find Yaz. Sam tells him that he and Yaz do not keep in touch, so he does not know where to find him. Ben asks Sam to sign the ball. Again, Sam is excited because now he's going to sign the ball. But Boy tells him it's almost as good. My brother doesn't know Yaz's handwriting anyway. Where everybody knows your name plays. Carla comes from the back and announces that it's her birthday. And you may remember recently I did a rewatch and it was Norm's birthday and it happened to fall around or on the same time as George Wendt's birthday. In this case, this is not so because this episode, as I said, is December 6th and Rhea Perlman's birthday is March 31st. She tells him that they better have a surprise party planned for her. They all give her gag gifts. Cliff gives her actual toilet water. Nora comes out of Sam's office with a big box. When Carla opens it, there is one garlic flavored jelly bean inside. Coach and Sam chipped in and got her a box of silverware. But when she opens it, it's a Lone Ranger mask. Sam explains you wear it to ride on silver. This was actually my favorite gag gift. I like the whole creativity of silverware you wear to ride on silver. Much more creative than the others. As upset, Carla thanks them and returns to the back. The gang is clueless that Carla's upset at this point. We know they're not very sharp people. Diane and Fraser come in. Diane wants to wait until tomorrow, but Fraser tells her not to put it off. Sam tells them they missed Carla's party. They tell Sam that they are going to live together, expecting him to be upset because they still think that Sam's in love with Diane. Sam is happy for them, and Fraser says his only concern now is Pavlov's response. Kudos to Lloyd for writing in a Pavlov scene, introducing viewers who may not know about Pavlov, and the bell and the dog, and uh, I forgot what it's called. Yeah, I did psychology. That's my concentration in school, my master's, and I can't for life remember. It's a behaviorism term. Response, stimulus response. So it's nice that they included that. And a little embarrassed that it took me that long to remember the words. Fraser laughs at his joke and explains Pavlov is his dog. Diane starts explaining to Sam about Pavlov, but Sam cuts her off, explaining he already knows about the dog drilling at the sound of a bell. Fraser goes out to the car to get Carla's birthday gift. Sam tells Diane he wishes her and Fraser all the luck in the world. He makes a joke about how long that will last. as Frasier returns with Carla's gift. Carla, still upset about the previous gag gifts, is not interested in opening another gift. She opens it, however, and gasps at the beautiful crystal glasses she sees. Frasier says to Sam, "How about a little vino to break them in?" I think this should have been Carl's clue that something was not right. Who gives gifts to a person in a public place that's a set of dishes and says, "Now open them so you can try them out"? You take a set of, if you're gonna have a like set like that, you're gonna take it home. You're not gonna open it in public like that. So I think that was a big clue. Carla toasts Frasier and Diane for having enough class to get her a real gift. She drinks the wine and it dribbles down her blouse, and everyone laughs. The next day, Carla's still upset about the gag gifts. I can understand why Carla would be upset here. I mean, it was not just one, but you have Norm's gift, Cliff's gift, Sam and Coach, and then Diane and Frasier. That's four gag gifts and no real gifts. So yeah, it's understandable she'd be kind of upset by that. My throat is a little bit dried out. Um, I'll explain later that there's a bonus episode coming tomorrow, but I literally just filmed that episode and then I'm doing this filming this podcast. And my throat's a little dried out. I keep drinking water. I had to change shirts so that it looks like it's a different day. Um, but the throat has not recovered. Well, anyway, on we go. Sam says it's their fault. They should have chipped in and gotten her a nice gift. They decide to do that now. Cliff isn't put in charge of Operation Make Good. That's what Cliff called it. Diane comes in and Sam asks how living with Frasier is going. She says great, but she has a terrible itch in the back of her throat. She says she is a cat person and is allergic to Pavlov. Sam suggested psychosomatic since she's been around his dog before. He then suggests that Diane is still in love with someone from her past. Diane replies, "You?" He says it could be anyone, but it's interesting he was the first one to come to mind. She explains he is always the first one that comes to mind when she hears something stupid. Frasier comes in and says he realizes he needs to find a home for Pavlov. Sam offers to take the dog, and Frasier agrees. The next day, Frasier returns. He asks Sam about Pavlov and learns that Sam renamed her Diane. Frasier's not happy, saying that'll be confusing, so Sam says they'll just have to call Frasier's girlfriend Pavlov. Sam asks about Diane's allergy. Frasier said now there's a recurring voice change. He explains that Sam will have to hear it for himself. Cliff comes in with the makeup gift for Carla. Coach is confused as to how it's Carla's birthday already, and Norm explains that it's the real gift to make up for the others. Carla comes from the back, and Cliff puts it on the table. Carla's not interested. They tell her this is the makeup gift to make up for all the others. She opens it, and it's a pretty red sweater. Carla loves it. They compliment Cliff. Cliff then tells them, "You haven't heard the best part, though. The longer you wear it, the body heat makes the words 'I'm as horny as a hoot owl' appear right on the back." The fact that Cliff is the one who said, "I want to be in charge of Operation Make Good," so he knew why he was getting this gift. I don't understand why he's so stupid that he would have gotten another gag gift like that. And apparently neither do they because two background actors physically removed Cliff from the bar. And I thought, yeah. And I like Cliff, but sometimes he's a bonehead. Frasier tells Sam that he and Diane are not unhappy. He clarifies they are just going through a period of adjustment. Diane comes in and says hi to everyone. She sneezes, then asks Frasier if he's going to say Gesundheit. Frasier replies, "I'm afraid we've moved past Gesundheit. We're now on put a stock, stuff a sock in it." Sam asks why she still has allergies when he and Diane, when he has Diane. There's always a dog here. And I lost my place. Okay. Diane, Frasier explains that Diane, I messed this up. I'm gonna try this again. Frasier explains that Sam renamed Pavlov Diane. There we go. Too many names. She explains there must still be traces of the dog in the apartment. She explains she's had the apartment fumigated, the furniture reupholstered, and had the wallpaper steamed off. She tells Frasier she wants to put linoleum flooring in the living room. She's about to sneeze, and Frasier says he can't take it anymore. Diane says again, it's the dog, but her voice changes. Frasier looks at Sam and says, the voice. Diane is determined to make living with Frasier work. He tells her, I love you, but I think your health is more important. Diane finally agrees. She goes to the ladies' room to get her medication. She stops on the other end of the bar to talk to Sam. After she leaves, Norm calls the voice change kind of sexy. And at this point, I thought Norm's a little weird. Sam tells Frasier that's a tough break. Frasier says he's now all alone and wants his dog back. The two of them argue over the dog. Diane comes back and thinks that they're fighting over her. Now, in her normal voice, she says that Frasier is the first man to fight so hard for her. Sam tries to explain that they were talking about the dog, but Frasier cuts him off. He tells Sam she knows perfectly well what we are talking about. She's a clever girl. Diane tells him there is and I may be pronouncing this wrong, Kurosawa Film Festival. She says it. She's really in the mood. Diane asks Sam if she can take the afternoon off, and he says she can, so she leaves because we know nobody in this bar really actually does any work. They just come and go as they please. Norm tells Sam, Sammy, Frasier walks out of here with Diane, and you get to go home to a dog. Sam tells him, yeah, somebody up there likes me. And that's our episode. I gave this episode 5 out of 5 beer nuts. This is one of my favorite Diane episodes. It may be my most favorite Diane episode, in fact. MVP, of course, goes to Shelley Long. And I'm going to share screen here in a second. Let me get it set up. Hopefully it doesn't play before I do. Okay. Let me back. So Frasier's right. He said that it doesn't do any justice, that you have to hear it for yourself. So I have a little sound clip, once the screen shows here, of the voice clip of the voice. So here it is. Conscious level, you really don't want to be living with me. Rachel, it's the dog. I keep telling you, it's the dog. The voice. Diane, the damn dog is gone. She's halfway across the city. I don't want to go on putting you through all this. Are you sure? I made a commitment here. As you can see, Shelley Long is absolutely brilliant. And the whole voice thing, that's come from her time doing improv with Second City. I tried to get Shelley Long to let me interview her. She's going through a lot, so I was not able to get that, unfortunately. I would have loved to interview her. I think she's sometimes underrated because people have issues with her leaving, and we know the relationship with her and the other cast, but she is phenomenal. And incidentally, best dressed, I'm a duck here so you can see it, goes to Diane Chambers. Really awesome sweater, very 80s with the shapes and everything. The Grand Slam line is when Diane's leaving to get her medication. She stops to talk to Sam. Diane says, I'm not gonna try to do the voice because you saw how good she is. I ain't gonna do that. Well, Sam, aren't you gonna gloat? Sam responds, I'd like to think I'm above that, Diane. Making fun of the voice. Pete's easy to imitate. On baseline, between Frasier, Diane, and Sam. Diane's not talking, she's just listening. Frasier says, Diane, we're both intellectual enough to know how often allergic reactions are psychosomatic. Sam responds, Gee, there's a thought. You may remember he made the same comment earlier. Here's a little known fact. In the scene following the dribble glass, there is a long shot toward the back room. If you look, you can see the lights above the bar. If you like this episode, like, comment, subscribe, the usual. You can follow us on Facebook group. Cheers, that's one woman's opinion. Oh, I forgot to turn the background off. See, all these different settings, having to remember to do them and do them at the right time. Sometimes I just don't remember. I remove my closed caption so I can get rid of that. Okay, so as I was saying, you can join the Cheers Facebook group. Cheers, that's one woman's opinion. You can follow us on Instagram at Cheers One Woman's Opinion Podcast. Oh, see, lights on. I need a producer. Too many of these things to remember. Follow us on Twitter X at One Woman's Opinion. You can join us on Reddit at Cheers Rewatch Podcast. And you could always email us with questions, comments, etc. at Cheers One Woman's Opinion Podcast at gmail.com. So tomorrow you will be able to see the bonus episode. I did an interview with Tim Christ. He is a talent agent, and I talked to him about his career. A lot of people don't know what a talent agent does. And next week we'll be looking at Cheers season 3, episode 11, Peterson Caruso. And that's one woman's opinion. Thank you.